Vaping among Arizona's youth is gaining popularity, as the state now ranks 17th in the nation for percent of teens who vape, according to Truth Initiative. While most are familiar with the risks of smoking cigarettes, the hazards of 1,000 different ingredients and different devices used in vaping are now making news, casting a shadow on a product originally marketed as a safer alternative to cigarettes. This is Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Carrasco, and I'm joined here by my three guests, Mateo.
Hello.
Leslie.
Hi.
And Rosemary.
What's up?
Okay, guys. Mateo, let's start with you. Why do you think that vaping is becoming more common amongst teens?
It could be, there's a bunch of reasons why. I would say the main reason why is social media. You see those kids with like the mango dual pods. They just think they're really cool when they're doing it. And kids like always want to look cool in front of their friends, so they'll just, see if they can get a vape and then just do it right in front of them.
It's definitely seen as a healthier and safer alternative to cigarettes, even though it isn't always considered that way. I feel like it's gained in popularity just because of that fact, because now kids these days have been like, cigarettes are gross, we don't want those, but they're very much down to vape.
I agree with both of them, but I also want to add in that since it's known as a better, healthier alternative, like they don't think that the risks are as high as smoking an actual cigarette, which, is not the case. But they also jump on trends, as Mateo was saying. They want to seem cool in front of their friends. And vaping has just kind of become the thing between teens nowadays, so yeah.
Okay, great answer, guys. So do you believe that vaping is a healthy alternative to smoking?
I would say that in comparison to all those chemicals that we know for sure are in cigarettes, that yes, it would be a healthier alternative, but obviously it would be better if you didn't do it altogether. But when compared to cigarettes, it is.
I think it can be a healthier alternative. In the case of zero nicotine vapes, there isn't that addictive chemical, there's only the flavor. But when you do have a nicotine vape, you have these kids getting addicted because the flavor tastes good, and nicotine itself is an addictive chemical. And now they're recently banning vapes, so kids are just going to have to turn to cigarettes because they're addicted to nicotine.
Yeah, I feel like there could be a healthier alternative, but I don't think, like Mateo was saying, I think the best thing to do is just quit it all. Although it does become addictive because, as Rosemary was saying, nicotine is a very, very addictive chemical, and once you start, I think it's very difficult to stop because there's also that relapsing stage.
Okay, so how would you say it is easy to get these vapes as a minor? How do these minors access these vapes?
Okay, so there's a bunch of ways that a minor could access a vape. A bunch of ways. I'll not get too in-depth with a couple of these strategies that minors use to get a vape, but it could be as easy as going online and ordering it. Recently there's been a ton of restrictions on websites where minors, you have to put in your ID before you can use it, but you can go on eBay or Wish or something. Those offer up to, those websites. It's really easy to get a vape nowadays.
Kids are having a lot easier access to vapes these days because the restriction age has been so young, 18 years old. 18-year-olds are still in high school. They're still able to buy these vapes for their friends so everyone can be cool together. Recently, they have changed the law, which is a step in the right direction just to stop kids from getting addicted to vaping.
I feel like it is easy for minors to get vapes because there's, as Mateo was saying, a lot of different ways. And it's kind of like that sort of drug dealing type thing. Someone is always going to be out there. There's always going to be someone who's going to have it or who's going to have an even easier way of accessing it to sell it to you. And you're going to buy it because, you want it.
Okay, great answers. So, do you believe that vaping has benefits, for example, relieving stress or preventing people from using cigarettes?
Yeah, I would say that vaping does have some benefits in terms of so helping you quit cigarettes, where obviously cigarettes can turn your lungs black and stuff. So with the nicotine, you're basically swapping out one thing for another, and there's a bunch of different flavors for vapes, I've heard, whereas cigarettes just taste like dirt or whatever they say. But, relieving stress, that's dependent on the person. But, yeah, I would say that it does have some benefits in terms of, quitting smoking.
There are definitely the benefits for people who have been addicts and who have been smoking for a long time. Personally, my mother started vaping as a healthier alternative to cigarettes, and it's really helped her start to quit the nicotine addiction. And so that's why vapes are perfect for that scenario. But we have a lot of kids who are getting addicted to nicotine, vaping, and cigarettes.
I do feel like it is a stress reliever because every time that I see them, they're just relaxed and everything. And I feel like it's a weight that's lifted off their shoulders because they can just forget about it, whatever's going on at the moment. But again, that's only in the moment. But I mean, it still helps as a stress reliever because then they don't have to think about other problems and stuff. So, yeah.
Is vaping addictive?
Yeah, vaping is addictive, or it can be if you have nicotine, I guess. And it also depends on your personality. A lot of people overlook that. Where, like, some people have addictive personalities where if they do something, they just want to keep doing it over and over again. So it depends. But if you're talking about nicotine, then yeah.
Definitely, nicotine is an addictive chemical as it is. Personally, for me, I had a friend recently who got into vaping, got into nicotine, and she continued to swear to me. She's like, no, I'm not going to get addicted. She smoked an entire pod within 2 days, which was the equivalent of a pack of cigarettes. And it took her 2 days to get addicted to a chemical already.
Okay, so what are the effects of vaping? Not only am I talking about, scientific effects, but just like maybe, social effects, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think like vaping is like an easy way to lose a lot of money because you're gonna have to constantly invest into your vape. But not only that, like there could be like some effects depending on like where you buy it from. If you buy it from like off the street or whatever, you're more prone to having some sort of infection or something. But yeah.
And then, like you said, with the scientific effects, it hurts your lungs. It makes it. There are kids right now who have like 80-year-old lungs because they just were smoking 1 pod a day from a vape and they couldn't stop because they were addicted.
Along with everything you guys have been saying, I think that some of the effects are actually like addiction itself. I feel like it gets to a point where it affects you socially, emotionally, and everything. I think it also gets to the point where you actually need it in your system to continue on with the day. That's just how addictive it gets, like it just starts affecting you in every part of your life.
Great answers, everyone. Okay, so last question. It's, what are your thoughts on parents letting their kids vape and use these vape products in general?
Yeah, I don't know why that's a thing. That should not be a thing where parents just like buy vapes for their kids and like let them vape, because that's just really bad parenting. And like I wish I could say that every kid that like did that and chose to do that was like, would like get some backlash for that. But there's some kids that are just like do just fine, and it's like kind of dumb.
I think personally, no nicotine vapes are okay. That's my personal opinion. I feel like it doesn't have the addictive chemical or very little of it, so it's okay. But I don't think a parent should be allowing a child to do it.
That's actually surprising. I didn't know that parents actually let their kids vape. I was gonna say that I'd never seen a parent like say, okay, yeah, go ahead and vape. My thoughts are just
too.
Crazy. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. Like, wow.
Yeah, if you go on Live Leak and type in Juul,
God, yeah.
There's gonna be a video of like a 4-year-old like juuling.
Oh, I've seen that.
No way.
No, I'm serious.
But that's not. That wasn't in the United States.
Yeah.
Still, it's messed up.
Do it. Look, go to Juul. Or no, go to Live Leak and look it up, and there'll be a video of like a 4-year-old kid vaping. I swear.
Was it actually real?
No, it
Yeah,
was real. It
That
was
a
real.
video.
You don't even develop kneecaps until you're 4 years old. There
Yeah,
is no
Jesus
reason to be
Christ.
vaping.
So that's all the time we have today. I'd like to thank my guests, Mateo,
Thank you for having me.
Rosemary,
Loved being here.
and Leslie.
Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Andy Carrasco, and this is podcast.